Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Hi, everybody. Black and blue, like a bruise. Hi, sweetheart. That's very dramatic. Hi, everybody. That's Wednesday. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Robbinsdale. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning to the good people of Andover. And good morning to Medina. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hello. Have a seat. Let's get started. Thanks for watching. Thank you.
Oh, what will he do?
I don't have coffee. Does anybody in the audience have some water? I don't have any. Oh, what a horrible way. Oh, my coffee cup is gone. Someone stole it. I know. People are stealing. Well, first of all, let me introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, she's my sidekick sister, Miss Kendall, everybody. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, please. Please continue.
I gotta tell you, there is an epidemic, audience, going on. Not just here, but over at the radio station. There's something, and it's something whether you work at a TV station or not, you can relate to this. Co-workers stealing your food. Yeah.
Does that really happen?
It happened here.
Really?
Yeah, many years ago. I'm spilling the tea here, and I don't care. Many years ago here, I won't say who, but there was a on-air talent who still works here, an on-air talent who was caught on security camera eating leftovers. That's right, people. And I'm thinking, who out of the cafeteria, who eats other people's leftovers? So anyway, fast forward to today on the radio station. Now, a lot of you know I do a radio show on My Talk 1071 from 6 to 9. I'm not in the building there. I do the radio show here at Fox. Alexis and Dawn are in St. Paul, so I'm not in the building a lot. Well, come to find out, listen to this. Somebody brought in 2 pies for my coworkers, Colleen and Bradley. And on the box, it said, Colleen and Bradley. Somebody went into the refrigerator, took the pies out, put it in the communal employee space, and everybody ate these pies that were made for Colleen and Bradley. I'm thinking, who does that? Like, first of all, who eats other people's leftovers? That's disgusting. And number 2, why would you take somebody else's food with their name on it? I mean,
I can think of a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Executive producer Jeff said, well, it depends on the food.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and the person. I mean...
Would you, now Kendall, all kidding aside.
What?
Let's say you went into the Fox Cafe. And you went to the refrigerator and there was a pie in there that said Director Leo on it. Would you, and that pie looked good, would you take that pie out and cut a slice for yourself?
No, I would take that pie out, go to see Director Leo and say, can I have a bite of this? And then I would probably have a fork ready to go. Like, can I have a bite of this?
Yeah. Okay, now see, that's polite. But I mean, but stealing somebody else's pie, that's rude.
No, I would not do that. However, I mean, if it was like to Jason, I'd be like, Jason, crew.
Oh, no. If it just said Jason on it and no show, would you eat the pie?
Heck yeah.
You would eat it too, Erin, if it just said Jason on it?
Erin and I would walk right in there and we'd be like, yes, girl.
My name is on the floor. I mean, it's like okay. Well, let me be clear. Thank you for taking the shot of the floor, Leo. Thank you. Yeah. But no, let me be clear. I would share the pie with all of you.
See?
But I'm saying fundamentally, it's just, I think it's a little rude to eat other people's food.
I do too. Actually, I had a friend, I used to have a really bad habit of taking people's, like, a fry from a friend at lunch or a chicken nugget. I was one of those people.
Oh.
And my friend Leah, who I love her, we're still very dear friends, stabbed me with her fork once when I went to grab her fry. I never did it again.
Yeah. Oh, I'd stab you. Oh. Oh, especially if they're McDonald's fries. Yes, I'm stabbing you.
Yeah, no, Red Wing High School had good fries.
Yeah, I only get those every so often. Don't touch my food. I am kind of like a dog. Yeah, I don't like people touching my food. I growl. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started, everybody. Speaking of food, time for the hot dish. Here we go. First up, oh, this is good. I love this. I was really touched by this. Former basketball star Dwayne Wade is making headlines. Why? Well, he was on Ellen yesterday and talked about supporting his 12-year-old who is transgender. Look at this.
Once Zaya, our 12-year-old, came home, and first Zion, everybody, I don't know if everyone knows, originally named Zion born as a boy, came home and said, hey, so I want to talk to you guys. I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth. And I want to be referenced as she and her. I would love for you guys to call me Zaya. And so internally, now is our job to, one, go out and get information, to reach out to every relationship that we have. My wife reached out to everybody on the cast of Pose. We're just trying to figure out as much information we can to make sure that we give our child the best opportunity to be, her best self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fundamentally, isn't that just what you want in your parent? I mean, you want them to love you where you are, and that's the best gift you can give someone. Well, what a class act. I'm not a sports guy, so I wasn't a fan, not because he's not, I just wasn't
aware. You just weren't aware of who he was.
I just wasn't aware a lot. I mean, I knew who he was, but I wasn't a fan per se. But I'm a fan now because I always love good dads. I wasn't incredibly close to mine. I talk about it all the time. So I always admire really good dads, and that's a really good dad. And it reminds me, I'll tell a very short version of the story. A lot of you know, that's why my grandma Mazak, my mom's mom, was so special to me. She was the first, my mom too, but my grandma Mazak was really the first one that looked at me and then looked at my dad and said, let him be. I wanted a Cabbage Patch Kid when I was like, 84, I would have been 10. And my dad had a fit and wouldn't let my mom get me one. And then we went to a store called Zare one day. They let me skip school and we went to Zare. And I looked at my grandma and I said, and there was a little end cap full of Cabbage Patch Kids. And I said, I want one of those. And my grandma goes, well, it's your birthday coming soon. If you want that for your present, I'll get that for you. And my mom looked a little hesitant because she knew that my dad would have a fit. And my grandmother looked at her, pulled her aside. They had little words. And then I got that Cabbage Patch Kid and we pulled into the driveway. And my grandma went in to talk to my dad, had a few words, came back, and my grandma goes, go in the house, all is good. And then, so she's, let him be who he is.
Absolutely.
Let him be who he is,
Right, I think about all the people in life that if they had parents that could look at them that way and support them, how different they would be as adults who have dealt with so much self-hate or loathing because they were told they needed to act a certain way. But
it's hard enough to be a kid, for heaven's sake. And
I know.
And then if your parents are against you, it's just, let kids be. Next in the dish, the Backstreet Boys visited Fallon last night and cleared the air on that rumored fight rivalry with fellow boy band from the late 90s, NSYNC. Look at this.
I mean, the only time that I can really remember that there was like a rivalry, maybe like late 90s, early 2000s. One thing that actually stands out to me was when we had an opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl. And we were getting ready to do our Black and Blue tour, and we got offered to either do the halftime show or the national anthem, and we chose the national anthem. And looking back at that time, and then they did Britney and NSYNC, and
remember that?
And they performed at the halftime.
Wait, but why did you choose the national anthem?
Well, we just thought it was more prestigious, because it's like us being a boy band.
I didn't want to stress out. I wanted to watch the game. I wanted to do the anthem. Watch the game, and that'd be it. I didn't want to stress out. But there was never any truth to us and NSYNC being a rivalry. Those were guys following their dreams.
good to hear. You know, because you didn't want the fight. Like, you know, the Partridges and the Bradys hated each other, and you didn't. I'm kidding. They really didn't. But, you know, it would be silly for them to fight. But.
I know. They both had their equal successes.
Yeah.
And I think the only fighting there was between girls my age that were like 10 years old going, no, I want to be with Justin. No, I want to be with Justin. No, I want to be with Nick. Like, we could score a Backstreet Boy or an NSYNC singer. That was the only fighting.
So you were 10.
Yes.
I was 24. Yeah, and I did the same. I had the same argument. Yeah.
Same argument. Though.
Same argument. You were doing arguments with crayons. I was here at Channel 9. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Next in the dish, superhero film Birds of Prey had a really rough opening weekend. That's why we're talking about this. Despite getting actually good reviews, an R rating is partly to blame, according to the studio, for the poor numbers. Warner Brothers and DC Comics behind the movie are doing something we really haven't seen before because they're freaking out. They spent a ton of money on this, and they're like, oh my goodness. They're changing the name of the movie, even though it's already released. So the long name, the original name, had been Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, Electric Boogaloo. Now, thank you, audience. I add Electric Boogaloo to everything because it's my favorite sequel name ever. Anyway, so now that the movie is bombed, Warner Brothers is like, oh, we're going to change it to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Now, let's take a shot of the audience. Does this make you want to see it anymore? No, okay, there we go. Thank you very much. Those two ladies represent America right there. That's right there. Yes! Now, the title is a nod to the lead, you know, the main character, played by Margot Robbie, who I loved in Suicide Squad. No, in the movie, she's just been dumped by the Joker. Warner Brothers says this is an attempt to make it easier for audiences to find the film on ticket sites. Oh. Well, that's a load of crap. I mean, no, that's just that's just a load of malarkey. Everyone can go and, oh, look.
There's the picture.
That's putting lipstick on a pig, you know, or whatever. What did Sarah Palin say? Anyway, it's that, come on. Yeah. Your movie bombed, just move on. Changing the title, it's like Cats. When they went back,
they're going to change it to Dogs.
Well, no, yeah. That would have been better. Anyway. No, but what's similar to, Cats bombed in its first weekend, so the studio lost their minds, went back and messed with the special effects, and then added real cats, and then put the movie back out there, and it still bombed. Yep. It's not going to help. Sorry, your movie bombed. It's not going to get any better.
Oh, sad day.
But this show will. We'll be right back, everybody, right after this. Stay with us. We're just getting started. Coming up next, it's not too late to impress for Valentine's Day. Kendall is taking us to Cupid's headquarters at Bachman's to show us their Valentine's Day options. Then, when I think legendary duets, I think of stuff like Islands in the Stream. But wait till you hear what Billboard thinks is the most romantic duet of all time. Please. And speaking of romance, our family friend Erin Schwab is helping us feel the love with a live performance that'll get you in the mood for, like, hugs. Stay right there. The Jason Show will be right back.
So it's an American adaptation of this Swedish film. Yep. And essentially what the film is about, an American family is on vacation in Austria. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I should be directing this to our group.
Sure, that's fine. I've already heard it.
Okay. And they're having a lovely time. They're about a day into their vacation. They're on the mountain. They're eating outside, having lunch at an outdoor restaurant on the mountain. All of a sudden, there's a boom. They look up, and there's an avalanche coming but it's very, very, very far away. And as people stand up and start taking pictures and so on, but then it seems to get closer and closer, and all of a sudden, it's like really close, and all of a sudden it seems as if it's almost upon them, and it's about to hit them, and the mother, who I play that part, woohoo for moms! Yay for mothers, right? Yes. And the mom grabs her two kids And the dad, played by my friend Will Ferrell, grabs his cell phone and runs in the other direction. And that's where the movie takes off.
It's a choice. Cell phone, kids. I don't know. It depends. Welcome back. Couple things. First, we were talking during that clip. How good does Julia Louis-Dreyfus look? She looks amazing. I love her. She's one of my favorites.
No, you love her.
I do love her. I have a little crush on her. And number two, what would you do if you, cell phone, avalanche is coming, kid, what would you choose?
Is that an honest question?
Well, it is. I mean, depending on the day. No, I'm kidding. No, of course the kid.
Of course. I mean, I don't have kids, but we have our pups. And both of us would grab our pups.
I would. I would take Mr. Big and Dexter and run the other way.
Right.
By the way, that movie called Downhill opens soon with Will Ferrell. Next in the dish. Oh, before we get going with more dish, people during the commercial break are losing their minds over your shoes, by the way, on social media. They want to know where did you get them?
This is Shoegate 2.0.
Don't move.
Don't move. Here we are.
Look at them. Where did you?
Shoegate 2.0.
Where did you get them?
Sarah Jessica Parker store at the Mall of America.
There we go.
These were my birthday gift to myself.
They're beautiful. And then people are also, what was? Carol wrote, she's doesn't like that I don't have a pocket square today.
Oh.
Here's a behind-the-scenes thing. Our general manager, Sheila Oliver, loves pocket squares. So this is my way of checking to see if she's really watching. Because if I get an email, she's watching the show. That's right.
Pulls out phone.
That's right. Next to the dish, Jim Carrey was on with Conan last night. Jim is apparently quite an artist these days. Yeah, he sells photos. I mean, he does paintings. And the two drew pictures of each other during their interview. Look at this.
You were always a funny kid, and I heard that you used to, when you were growing up, when a visitor came to the house, you would greet them in a very interesting way. Is that true?
Yes. I would throw myself down a giant flight of stairs in front of the guests.
Is that really true?
That's true. Actually, I would heave myself down this giant stairway. And then I would get up when they were shocked out of their minds. I would get up and I would say, let's see that again in slow motion. And I would go back up to the top of the stairs and I would attempt to do it again in slow motion, and I would hit every step on the way down. Like,
Are we ready to unveil these?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, you go first
like
and
this.
I go.
Okay, this is.
Oh my God.
Look at that. That's really good, actually. It reminds me of when we went to that painting place. You and I both painted Santa.
Yeah, and yours looked great.
No, mine looked horrible. You're being nice, yeah. Jim stars in the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which hits theaters this weekend. I can't wait to see that. Next in the dish, I'm kidding.
He's lying. He's lying.
I'm going to take those two ladies with me that I said represent America right there.
Get a pulse on the situation,
Yep.
you know.
I'll buy popcorn. We'll sit back in the loungers. It'll be great. Next in the dish, the top dog was announced at the Westminster Dog Show last night. Best in Show went to the 4-year-old, the black standard poodle. Was it Siba? Siba. She represented the non-sporting group and beat out 6 other dogs for the title. How did she prepare for her big night? Well, her pre-game meal was a McChicken from McDonald's. That's not a joke.
That's real life. Really was.
Okay, I just have to be honest. I know people don't always agree with me here, and that's fine. I have to admit, my mother was a professional dog groomer when I was a kid, many, many years. I've been around every type of dog. I do not love the poodle. And
Is it their personality or the way they look?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's a little bit of their personality. My aforementioned Grandma Mazak, had 2 little poodles named Gigi and Schnapsy. And
Schnapsy? It started out so serious and you lost me. Continue.
Gigi and Schnapsy. And those dogs were just meaner than snakes. They didn't like me as a kid. I was terrified of them. And I never, from that moment on, and they would bite. I would walk in and I'd be like, "Hi, Grandma," and they would literally bite my ankle. You know, so no, I don't. Please don't write me. I love dogs. I just don't like poodles.
No, he loves dogs.
Yeah.
you hear that about the breed, though. There's certain breeds that, like, there's the drooly breeds. There's, like, the ones that are a little standoffish. So I get it.
Yeah, Dexter, my boxer's a little standoffish, you know, and it's fantastic. Next up, I love it. He's
like,
nah, I'll go sit over there. It's the busiest time of year for floral shops as they get ready to deliver roses and other blooms for Valentine's Day. If you're lucky enough to receive flowers for Valentine's Day, you got to put them in a vase. Kendall hit up Bachman's in Minneapolis to learn how to make the flowers really stand out. Look.
I wish you could smell this basement because it is the best smelling basement I've ever been in. Not your average basement. We're at Bachman's, actually. We're talking about flowers for Valentine's Day. Jenna's going to teach me how to do the things that you do on a daily basis, which is take this and turn it into this. I think a lot of people have questions about this because you go somewhere, like you go to one of Riley's, you buy one of these beautiful arrangements, and then you just stick it in a pot, and you're like, it's not quite right.
It's not nearly as intimidating as you think it is.
It's good.
Just a few easy steps and it will make it look like it was delivered to you that way.
Okay, perfect. Well, first things first, have a vase with a lot of water.
Lukewarm water is usually the best. Have it nice and clean. That way everything's gonna stay clean throughout the whole process. First step, we'll want to actually get rid of the rubber bands and the plastic on there. Cut carefully on the rubber bands, they can fly up at you. We'll have these floral food packets inside the bouquets for you, and what we'll want to do is open that up and add it right into the vase. And then what I like to do is start with our greenery on the bouquet. And the most important thing is we always want to strip off anything that's going to be below the vase line.
Clippers. Now, do I have to clip it at one of the knobs?
You do not. You can clip it wherever you need to as far as height.
So fast.
And so with this one, I'm sorry, I should have said this first. I like to add these in when we get a little bit more in there so we can see our shape a little bit more.
Kendall, what just happened?
Well, of course, the second leaf I picked is not the right one. But hey, it's me, so big surprise there.
And we'll save those to the end too. You got it.
Thank you. Save for the end. I wouldn't have thought that you start with the greens. I would not have thought that.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of hold everything together. So then going in with kind of your larger flowers is going to be your next step. That way, again, it'll continue to have the shape and then we can fill in with smaller flowers when we go. Cutting each stem at an angle and then adding it right into your vase. Exactly. And it does help when you're putting something together if you kind of spin your vase so you're seeing it from different angles when you're putting the stems in. If you are working with lilies and they're open, you'll see in the center that it does have the pollen in there.
Yeah.
So we'll want to pull those out.
Oh, so you pull out the pollen if they're open?
I like to pull them out just because once the flower is a little bit more mature, they'll turn into that kind of yellow powder.
Right.
And then it will just kind of fall and make a mess. So if you take them out ahead of time, you don't have to deal with the mess once it opens.
And I saw you literally just pulled it out.
Just reached in and just pulled them out. They come off very easily.
I would live in this basement and I've never uttered those words before.
That will leave us with our roses left in this bouquet, and that's where we're going to start to fill in anywhere we think we need color. The outside petals of the roses are known as the guard petals. So you're going to notice they're always a little bit of a different texture and they're a little bit more, like they'll have some scratches or they're a little bit more beat up.
Right.
And really what that is to protect the rest of the rose. Kind of pinch at the bottom and pull off your outside petal and get rid of it, and that's what's going to leave your kind of nice protected petals on the inside.
The last thing is this.
The last thing we'll put in is the lily grass accent on this, and that's because you'll kind of want to see where you need it when you're finished. So we'll just take a couple of these, just kind of put them in where you want them coming out.
Wow.
And that's it.
I love this. You can do this. If you buy your own flowers and you're like, hey.
Yeah.
Or in most cases, your significant other buys you your flowers and you're like, hey, I want to make this look nice.
You can definitely do it. And maybe it's a little bit of trial and error. So you put something in and it doesn't look right, pull it back out, put it in a different spot, and that way you have an arrangement that's perfectly customized to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bachman's. Minnesota's own Bachman's. You know, was that the first time you were ever in the basement? In the basement?
Yes.
It is. Isn't that impressive? I mean, it's like the most massive assembly line for flowers.
Yeah, it's so cool and it smells so good, honestly. It was really interesting. So we did that, and then they talked about, obviously, if you're not interested in that you can buy a bouquet that they have there, or if you're like, I want something custom, they do that too. So I told her, I was like, okay, my dream vacation is to go to Hawaii. I like the color blue, and I would consider myself modern in design.
And then
and she made the most gorgeous bouquet. Yeah. I put it on my Instagram if you want to see it, but it's really cool what they can do. I was like,
I love the fun fact about the lily or the tulip. You just pull that thing out?
I was like, well, it makes sense. They don't need to be pollinated.
No, I mean,
they're already in the house.
So thanks to our friends at Bachman. Still ahead, everybody. Now we helped you. We have helped you with flowers. Now we're going to help you with your skin. We're helping you with your skin survival this winter season with some tips from an expert. And then, in honor of Valentine's Day, we're running down the list of the best love song duets. And let me just say, the number one on this list will shock you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So I don't need to tell you, the air is as dry as ever these days, and your skin may be feeling a little scratchy. I always say a little iguana-like, but there are ways, the real ways, easy ways to save your skin this winter. Give it up for local esthetician, Lindsay White, everybody. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
You hear it all the time. You hear from friends, oh, the winter wreaks havoc on your skin. But this season really doesn't it?
It is incredibly dry out there, absolutely, and it's horrible for our skin. It's tough.
Yeah, because we're lacking the humidity, and that's actually one of the things. So let's start with number 5. This seems a little odd in winter, but you say wear sunscreen. Why?
Yes. So it is a common misconception that just because you're not on the boat for a couple hours that you're not really getting a lot of sun damage. But the World Health Organization actually points out that your UV exposure is doubled with white snow. So when you're outside and you're shoveling, you're skiing, white snow reflects light back up at you.
Seriously?
Yes. You can get a sunburn. If you're a skier, you'll know you'll get a sunburn even in the wintertime.
Just going out and shoveling, you can get a nice little tan.
Yes.
I'm going to do that right after the show today. No, I'm just joking.
With sunscreen.
I'm going to wear sunscreen. I'm like, well, no, I mean, that makes sense to me. I had a sunburn. People laughed. I had a sunburn on my lips over the summer because I did not wear sunscreen. In a part of my body, I didn't think I needed to wear sunscreen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. Number 4. A DIY mask at home. What do you mean? I mean, I think we all know what a mask is, but what do you mean?
So a lot of people are really into like natural products and they want to kind of use stuff at home, and there's so many great ingredients that you might already have in your kitchen that you can use to help hydrate your skin. So my favorite one, I mix fresh aloe vera gel and honey together, equal parts. I'll put on my skin for like 20 minutes and then I'll wash it off. It's not only hydrating for your skin, but it's also super soothing. So
is that really good? Lindsay, may I ask you, is that good for is it good for hands or face or where?
Every part of your skin. Whatever,
seriously?
Yeah, you want to put on your neck, your décolleté. It's very hydrating.
I lost my décolleté last year, but yeah, that's fine, It's right there. I have one. I have one. Okay. I was just checking, Lindsay.
I wasn't sure I had
one.
What's underneath there?
No, I was just, I don't know. Number 3, water-loving ingredients in skincare.
Yes.
I read this. I'm like, what does she mean? What do you mean by that?
So it's called a humectant, basically meaning that it will pull water from the air. So a really popular buzzword skincare ingredient that you'll hear is hyaluronic acid. It's actually been around for a really long time, but it basically, one molecule of hyaluronic acid will hold 1,000 of water. So when you have that in your skincare ingredients, it's going to take whatever moisture is in the air and it's just going to hold on to it for dear life. And so focusing on buying products that have those type of ingredients will really help to hydrate your skin.
Because people say it one more time. What are we looking for?
Hyaluronic acid.
And that will be in the ingredients, so you should look for that on the back.
Yep, and now because it's a buzzword, a lot of ingredients will say it right on the front, hyaluronic acid, and that's kind of a really good, probably the easiest one to look for when you're looking at products.
Speaking of water, number 2, just good old-fashioned water. Again, like sunscreen, I think we hear this, we go, yeah, but it really... The old 8 cups a day.
Yes, or more if you can. I feel like a broken record. I tell people drink more water. Yes, it seems a little bit obvious, but studies do show that increasing your water intake will also increase water in your skin. And I think people really forget that our skin is not just about beauty. It is an organ, and it's the largest organ in our body. It has a huge job to regulate our body temperature, to keep bad things out, keep good things in. So making sure that you're drinking enough water so it can function properly is incredibly important.
Does it affect, I've always wondered this too,
Yeah.
does it affect blotchiness if you're lacking water? Is there an appearance-based effect with a lack of water?
Well, anytime you're going to be dehydrated or your skin's going to be dehydrated, your fine lines and wrinkles are going to be more apparent, and you'll also have dry patches on the skin as well. So, definitely helping flush your system, it will help.
And number one, a humidifier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a game changer.
We got an applause for the humidifier. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this a couple years ago, and it's been a huge game changer for my skin, is just having an air humidifier. The biggest thing that we're facing with wintertime is not having moisture in the air. So pumping moisture in your home can really help kind of hydrate your skin. I like to keep mine on my bedside table when I go to sleep at night because our skin is working the hardest at nighttime. So having it right there, and then if I have a little hyaluronic acid on my skin, it's just pulling all that moisture.
Well, I will say you are an esthetician with really good skin.
Oh,
Thank you. I may give you a compliment. I came around. It was so funny. I'm so goofy. I came around. You were talking to Kendall. I came around. I go, look at Lindsay's skin. She is in the right business. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But
well, you look
commitment.
great. Thank you.
Thank
Come
you
back and
so
see us.
much.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
For more information, head to our website, skinhealthbylindsay.com. And if you miss any of this, we'll post this on our Facebook page a little bit later. Still ahead, we're going to show you some of the top love duets of all time. Ugh. And then Erin Schwab. We won't her. Erin Schwab will perform some of her favorite tunes for Valentine's Day. We'll be right back, everybody. Go hydrate. Who can forget that iconic song from the 80s, I've Had the Time of My Life, by the great Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes from the movie Dirty Dancing. Fun fact, after the show every day, photographer Eric and I dance to that into the studio with the audience.
I do the lift.
He picks me up. It's beautiful. Yeah. In honor of Valentine's Day on Friday, Billboard.com just named the 25 greatest love duets of all time. That song ended up at number 13. Okay. We'll debate this. We're going to focus on the top 10 right now. And we only do lists when we either uber agree with it or we think it's trash. And this list is a dumpster fire. Let's start with another movie theme that placed number 8. Look at this.
The lift is up where we belong, where the eagles cry on the mountain high.
Yes. I just listened to this a couple days ago. Way to go, Paula! Way to go! This is a song that made everyone want to be carried out of a factory. That's Joe Cocker and again Jennifer Warnes with "Up Where We Belong" from one of the best movies to come out of the '80s, An Officer and a Gentleman. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, I'm not. No. She's younger. No. I'm not going to shame you. I'm just going to tell you, you really should. All kidding aside, you should watch. It's such a good movie. That I agree with. I don't even. That could be placed a little bit higher. I love that one. Well, here's where the list gets a little odd. That's putting it mildly. This is where we enter Trashville. Finishing in 5th place is this song that many of us probably don't even know. Okay, that is Ariana Grande Latte and The Weeknd singing Love Me Harder from 2014. I take back what I said moments ago. Obviously, Kendall knows that song, but Kendall, even though you know that song, and now I actually do too hearing it, but you cannot, please tell me that should not be in the top 10
of all time.
No.
No.
That
I would never even think of that song.
No, that is ridiculous. That is whoever made. No, it's ridiculous.
No.
It's a ridiculous. Yes. That song beat out others on the list. That song beat out, are you ready? Islands in the Stream by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Shallow by Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And it beat out this song.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe. They say our love won't
No.
fade red.
No. Why? How?
I
How
don't
did that
know.
happen?
I don't
How
know.
did the writer of this, they're from Billboard, so they know music.
Right.
How could they possibly think a song from Ariana Grande Latte that came out 6 years ago is as good and culturally and pop culturally important as I Got You, Babe by Sonny and Cher?
I can't argue.
Let's go to the surprising number one before a vein pops in my forehead. This is the number one greatest love duet according to Billboard.com.
The way you walk, the way you move, the way you talk, the way you stare, the way you look, the style you
No. It's Jennifer Lopez and Ja Rule singing I'm Real from 2001. Yeah, I am real peed right now because I love J-Lo. You all know I love her. I got into a Twitter fight with a 64-year-old woman for you, J-Lo. I love you.
Yes, he does.
However, this list, #trashbox. Horrible. This is awful. Billboard calls it a tasty combo of singing and rapping. Tasty combo. What is it, the treasure chest combo meal at Long John Silver's? What do you mean a tasty combo?
They use the term tasty combo. Would you like fries with that?
Stupid. Anyway, Erin and Jay, we love them. We can all agree on that. Performing live when we come back. Back after this, everybody. Welcome back. Look who's here. Look who's here. Our next guest is what I call the Bette Midler of the Twin Cities. She's sassy, she's brassy, and she's fun. And once again, performing a series of special Valentine's Day shows, theme shows over the next week. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a member of our family, Erin Schwab and Jay, everybody.
Oh, hello. Hello.
She's saucy.
Hello.
She's saucy and
Saucy.
sassy. That's right. And she's big business, right there. Big business.
Big business, yeah.
She's my Rose. How
We
many
have a
more
lot of-
references can I make for Bette Midler?
That was really good.
That was good.
I believe I'm the wind beneath your wings.
You
as well.
are. That's right. Yeah, you are.
goodness.
Yeah.
I can do this all day,
and
but we won't.
You have outrageous fortune
I
performing
do.
here. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you like that, Jay?
I didn't know that one.
Jay's
Didn't
just
catch that
excited
one.
because he has a mic on this time.
I
Oh,
do,
yeah.
right?
We're letting
here.
Jay talk
First
today.
time ever.
You do all types of shows. You do your usual cabaret show.
Yeah.
What is special? What is different about your Valentine's Day show?
Here's what's going to set us apart from some of the other Valentine's shows is we like to acknowledge all the different kinds of ways you like to celebrate Valentine's Day, because some of us are loving love and some of us are just a bunch of gals or guys hanging out, drinking ourselves into a stupor, commiserating the fact that we don't have one. Right?
Very
so
true.
here's what I like to do is a little something for everyone, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
A little
we want
something.
to. So it's not just going to be like an entire night of lovey love, right? But understanding as well, like all songs are love songs. The end.
Now,
so you can make anything a love song.
Now I know when you and Jay are here for your Christmas show, you do the naughty version, you have a nice version.
Yeah.
I'm reading here on the card that this one has mild nudity. What does that What does that refer to?
That's because Jay and I will be
That's the first I've
performing.
heard of that.
We're
Okay.
performing
I didn't know
that
that.
show under our new names, which are Gigi and Schnapsy.
Oh, right. Right. Yes. Yay!
Gigi and Schnapsy do a naughty Valentine show for you.
Jay, are you Schnapsy or which one are
No,
you?
she's Schnapsy.
That's
for
right,
sure.
Now, what's the song you're getting ready to perform for us? It's special.
Right. Well, I think also just, latching onto this whole best duets ever, I think we will be on the list next year with this one.
Yeah. Sure.
Jay wrote a song for me for our anniversary, right? And Jay and I have been performing together for now 20 years plus, right?
Yeah.
We're in our 21st
20
year.
years.
And a lot of people assume things about our relationship to each other. And this song is just a lovely love duet about how we actually are with each other. This is our song.
Ladies and gentlemen, Erin Schwab and Jay.
Ready, baby?
I'm ready. You're gonna like it. Oh yes, we're married, but not to each other. We both have husbands at home. We look like a couple when we're together, but she has a man of his own. It's true. When we're hugging, the sparks aren't flying, but when we're singing, we climax in tune. Yes, we're married, but not to each other. We both have husbands at home.
She will sing your blues away.
He can whistle tunes all day.
She's my funny Valentine.
He can make the words all rhyme.
She can belt it out with ease.
He can really pound those keys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Here we go, everybody. Oh, yes, we're married, but not to each other. Clap it up. We both have husbands at home. We look like a couple when we're together, but she has a man of his own. Oh yes, when we're hugging, the sparks aren't flying, but when we're singing, we climax into. Sing a big note. Yes, we're married, but not to each other. We both have husbands, very sassy husbands. Yes, we both have husbands at
home. They're married, but not to each other.
That is
That's
very
right.
true. All true every day.
Catch them Friday at Birch's Lower Town at 8:30. Crooners next Tuesday at 7:30. And Nicollet Island in next Thursday at 7:30. So many of you go. And you won't have a bad time. They're going to sing us out to break. We'll be back to wrap things up.
Oh, backward. Yes, we're married, but not to each other. We both have husbands at home. Yes, we do. We look like you can polka to this too.
Welcome back to the show. We have some fun things on the social medias, as the kids say. You can see photographer Eric and I dancing during the commercial break. And people are loving this. We do a live event every day. You get to sit in on our pre-show meeting where we say some uncensored things we can't say on TV. If you want to see all of that, here's what you do. Just search for Jason Show TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And like us, won't you? We like you to stay right there. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. We like you. Please stay. Please stay a minute. before we toss over to have Erin and Jay in the show, let me shower them with compliments. I know you will echo me on this. Erin isn't just a friend. She is a legitimate friend, not just a TV friend. She's not just the audience coordinator. I joke that she's the Twin Cities Bette Midler. She is. It's not a joke. Mm-hmm. She's so immensely talented. If you've never been to one of her shows, and Jay too. But if you, yeah. No, I mean, it's a joke. Jay is obviously talented, but if you've never been to one of their shows, you really need to. Whenever someone goes and they write on Facebook, they say, "Why didn't I do this earlier?" Go, if you're looking for a girls' night, go spend it with Erin and Jay. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Tomorrow on the show, Wine Diva Leslie Miller's back, but they're the best pair around. Take it away, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
It had to be you. It had to be you. See, I can be serious too. I wandered around and finally found somebody who can make me be true, can make me be blue, or even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross or try to be